Just like in soccer, or any sport for that matter, taking the time to set up your goal will yield better results. People set goals all the time without ever being very specific. Did you know that 92% of individuals who set New Year's goals never achieve them? This is according to research by the University of Scranton. Researchers then looked at what the 8% who were successful in meeting their goals consistently do. They found that setting specific and challenging, but not too hard, goals lead to higher performance 90% of the time. Wow! Now there's a good reason to adopt SMART objectives for both professional and personal goals. Before we begin, what exactly are goals and objectives? Many frequently use goals and objectives interchangeably. However, they are in fact different. Knowing the difference can help us to use both in a constructive way to move us in the direction of our ultimate goal. Goals are broad statements that describe the expected outcome of a behavior change and set long-term direction. Objectives are created by breaking down goals. Thus, objectives are more detailed and limited in scope than goals. Think of objectives as the stepping stones to achieve the goal of the behavior change. For example, if your behavior change is to incorporate regular physical activity into your routine to lose weight, your goal may be to lose 25 pounds. And objectives would be the steps that you will take to reach your goal. Think back to when we talked about developing a progressive personal fitness plan. One objective could be to find an activity that you enjoy and that you can do. Another objective could be to participate in the activity 2 days a week for 10 minutes. The next objective could be to increase the frequency to 3 to 5 days a week. And then increase the time of your activity to 20 minutes each time. I think you get the picture. While goals are broad and long-term, objectives provide specific targets towards goals, are measurable and use action verbs to describe what needs to be done, and provide guidelines for how a goal can be accomplished. Effective objectives need a target and a baseline. Obviously, your target is what you want to achieve, outlined in measurable terms. Using our previous example, it could be walk 10 minutes a day, 2 days a week. And your baseline is where you are starting. If an individual is inactive, the baseline could be 0 walking for health-related fitness. Now, let's look at how to apply SMART principles to goals and objectives. Devoting time and resources early on to intentionally writing SMART objectives is an investment in the future of a behavior change. By starting out with SMART objectives, a plan can systematically and meaningfully measure progress, show achievements, and identify opportunities for improvement. The S, or specific, suggests that objectives clearly state the action step. Where exactly are you heading? Consider these questions to create specific objectives. What exactly will you do? What is the action? What do you intend to impact? How are you going to reach your goal? When will you start and/or complete this objective? Of course, not all of these questions will apply to every objective, but this is a great place to start. When working with individuals for weight management, guide them to be specific about changes to behaviors or habits for healthy eating, activity levels, or weight management. You can ask, what are some healthy eating habits that you feel you can start following? What are some activities that you would like to start? And can you begin 1 or 2 of these before our next visit? The M stands for measurable and involves selecting what will be measured to show improvement or success. Measurable also suggests that objectives should quantify the amount of change expected. It is impossible to determine whether goals have been met unless they can be measured. The easiest things to measure, however, may not be the most meaningful. Try to pick a measure that is relevant to your ultimate goal. This is where the baseline comes in. Once you decide what to measure, document where you started to help you determine how much you have moved the needle. Consider this to confirm that your objectives are measurable. How much and in what direction will the change occur? If I created a goal that states I am going to lose weight, how will I know what I am measuring? Am I measuring body mass in pounds, or percentage of body weight, or body fat, or waist circumference? We know the direction because we want to lose, but how much? These are all variables that should be addressed to confirm that the goal is measurable. For weight management clients, ask how they will measure their progress toward achievement or know when they have achieved their goals. You can ask, what is the best way for you to track your new habits or progress toward your goals? The A is for action-oriented, enabling you to create concrete steps that you will take to be successful. Goals have to involve action. Otherwise, they are just dreams and wishes. Use action verbs to set your goals. Actions don't always have to be physical. Learning new information or skills, such as how to prepare healthy meals or train with weights, is an important part of the process. Consider these questions to guarantee action-oriented objectives. What steps will help you to meet your goal, and what are your next steps? When working with individuals for weight management, encourage them to consider the action steps necessary to achieve results. Ask them, are there any techniques or skills that you need to learn to implement your new behavior? And what are your next steps to reach your goal? R, or realistic, implies that objectives should be within reach within a given time frame and with available resources, such as knowledge and time. Think challenging, but possible. Consider these questions to ensure that your objectives are realistic. How can this objective be accomplished? Given the current time frame or environment, can this objective be achieved? Should it be scaled up or down? What resources will help achieve this objective? When addressing weight management, discuss how confident they feel about achieving their goal. This is a chance for a reality check to revise the goal if individuals don't feel confident that the goal is achievable. Do you feel confident that this is an achievable goal? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all confident and 10 being completely confident, how confident are you that you can achieve this goal? T, or time specific, suggests that objectives should provide a time frame indicating when the objective will be measured or a time by which the objective will be met. Establish a realistic time frame that is not too soon as to prevent success or so far away as to encourage procrastination. Adding a deadline to each objective is vital to success. If your weight loss goal is to lose 2 pounds per week for the next 12 weeks, you have a deadline to meet each week to help keep you focused and on track. Consider these questions to guarantee time-specific objectives. When will this objective be achieved? Is this time frame realistic? Should it be closer or further in the future? For individuals focusing on weight management, place a relatively short time frame on the initial objectives and revisit whether they are achievable in that time frame. Ask them, when will you begin? So, here is a sample weight loss goal. I will lose 10% of my body weight by December 31st, 2019. Let's see whether this is a smart goal. The goal statement indicates that the intended results are to lose 10% of body weight. I would say that this is pretty specific. We are measuring percentage of body weight, 10% loss to be exact. Yes, this is certainly measurable. Is it action-oriented? Well, not so much. Our ultimate goal is more results-oriented. However, let us look at some objectives for this goal. I will walk 60 minutes a day at least 5 days a week beginning August 1st, 2019. I will drink water instead of sugary drinks every day this week. And I will limit going out for meals to 2 times this week. Now we can say that the objectives are action-oriented. We are starting to lay out the steps to meet our ultimate goal. Is it realistic? Without knowing the individual, this is hard to say, but let us surmise that we are working with a 200-pound individual. In theory, this is a realistic goal. They would need to lose 20 pounds. Think 1 to 2 pounds per week. So, yes, this could be a realistic number. For the objectives or action steps, you would need to work with the individual to see if they are realistic. For example, if you are working with an individual who is not active at all right now, is it realistic that they will be able to incorporate 60 minutes of activity 5 days a week into their lifestyle? Perhaps, perhaps not. This may need to be tweaked a bit. Finally, is this time specific? Yes, December 31st, 2019 for the goal, and each objective also has a timestamp. Now is a great time to post your Module 11 discussion. Imagine that you are coaching a weight management client and you are helping them to set weight loss goals. First, assign an imaginary stage of change to the client and write a SMART goal for the client. Based on their stage of change, write 3 SMART objectives to help them move to the next stage of behavior change and meet their ultimate weight loss goal.